Greetings, Bat Family. Welcome back to Holy BatCast, brought to you by Real Fans for Real Movies. You can visit our website, holybatcast.com, and find us all over social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, YouTube. I think that's it right now. I think. Just find Holy BatCast. That's us. If you love the show and you want to support us, you can do that on Patreon. You go to patreon.com/holybatcast. As always, a big old thank you to our patrons. And I got to give a special thank you to a special patron. We got another new patron. This is Mr. Clint Hester. Hi, Clint. Clint, you rock. So big old thank you to Clint. He was nice enough to pledge and support the show. And we know you didn't have to do that, Clint. And the fact that you did really means a lot. So really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So thanks to Clint and thanks to all of our patrons. You guys are awesome. You make it that much easier to keep the show going. And I hope you know that you're appreciated. So Clint Hester, this one goes out to you, buddy, wherever it is you live. I don't know, but hope you're doing great. And this episode is for you. What else? We're part of the Real Fans Podcast Network. You can check out those shows at rf4rm.com. And as always, I'm your Bat host, Andy DiGenova. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, Threads. It's just my name, Andy DiGenova. This episode, we are going to celebrate the life of Arleen Sorkin. Yes, we're going to mourn her because she was taken far too soon, but it gives us an opportunity to also celebrate her and what she brought to the Batman universe, as well as in the creation of Harley Quinn, who is now an immortal character who will live forever. So, this is our tribute to Arleen Sorkin. We're also going to review the next episode of The Batman, which we're getting back to. So it's going to be a good episode. And joining me, someone who sat out the last episode because he still hasn't seen Blue Beetle. It's Brendan Lowe. Hey, Brendan.
Hi, Andy.
How's it going?
Oh, I'm surviving over here, but still haven't seen Blue Beetle. It's still a couple of weeks away.
Yeah, I assume you did not listen to our Blue Beetle review.
Oh, God, no.
Okay.
Not
even the spoiler-free part. Oh, well, that's nice.
No, I downloaded it, but I same with the Fire Rises guys. I've downloaded their 2 Blue Beetle episodes. I just haven't listened to them yet.
Two Blue Beetle episodes?
They did a Blue Beetle lead-in.
Oh, episode. Interesting. All right. Okay, I assumed you didn't listen yet, because I feel like if you had listened, I would have heard from you.
No. Oh, okay. What did you do?
Nothing.
Okay.
Let's just say you came up a lot. That's all.
I'm sure I did.
Yeah. I mean, it was awkward because like recording with my wife and talking about my mistress, and it was weird.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was Catherine on the episode, was she?
Yeah. Fortunately, my wife is very understanding about my Australian mistress.
Okay.
So it's okay. But yeah, I think I introduced her as my other soulmate.
No, I look forward to listening, but no, I haven't yet, unfortunately.
Yeah, I figured. Well, you enjoy that when the time comes. And then when the time comes, you're going to go, hey, what the hell about this? And I'm like, dude, I don't remember what I said. What are you talking about?
You know I will.
I know, and I'm going to be like, I don't remember. I barely remember what I said last week, let alone, by the time you listen to this one. Well, good to have you back. Welcome back. And now it's just the two of us. Catherine's downstairs. Just be quiet.
Okay. I've got the pumpkin spice candle burning, and
oh my God, shut up! I have the leaves candle burning. It's September 1st.
It's the second.
I know that. Year. Oh, that's right. That's right. I mean, I know that people, like we flirt with fall in August, and some people more than others. But September 1st, you got to just embrace it. It's time.
Well, yeah, it's funny because I'm so entrenched, in the Real Fans group and my online friends who are pretty much all American. And, it's the 2nd of September. So for me, it's the start of spooky season. So we just had to go to the shops before, and I'm wearing a Michael Myers shirt and, in the mood. And I walk in and it's just like, yeah, there's literally no Halloween stuff out. There's nothing, because it's just like, that's right. It's still only the 2nd of September in Australia. So spooky season hasn't started yet. So.
Well, we've been like hardcore Halloween shopping all
for
August. Yeah, because we're doing a big haunt this year, and I start to get like that thing in where I'm like starting to get impatient, where I'm like, oh god, like we're running out of time, or I haven't found this yet, and then I'm like, wait, it's September 1st, so relax. It's okay. All right. Well, before we get to the subject at hand, we do have to give a shout out, as always, to our friends over at Manscaped at manscaped.com. And so it is September 1st, and Manscaped wants you to know that fresh ball fall is upon us. And you need to be in the festive spirit. So light a candle, which we did. Get some pumpkin spice and make sure your balls look nice with the sponsors of today's show, Manscaped. Nature may clear the leaves of their trees, but you'll need Manscaped's help to get you ready for that sweater weather. Get your pants puppies prepared for cuffing season with a trim as refreshing as a fall breeze. Go to manscaped.com, use the promo code BATSCAPED for 20% off plus free shipping. So, it's a nice time for flannels, cozy socks, but you can't forget to trim our balls. And Manscaped, join the 9 million men using Manscaped and get the kit that covers it all, the Performance Package 4.0. That's the sampler platter. It comes with the Lawnmower 4.0. It comes with the ball deodorant, the ball spray toner, and the boxers and the travel bag. It's great. Get a little bit of everything. I'm still using my Handyman, which I love.
Yes, I was about to mention that. I've used it quite a few times since we last recorded.
Me too. I used it yesterday because it was one of those things where I was like, I don't need a real shave. I just need a little trim. And the Handyman was there, got me covered. So guys, go to manscaped.com, do a little perusing, look for their stuff. Again, the performance package is great because you get to try a lot of different things. But if you don't want to fully commit, I get it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But if something does look good to you, please make that purchase. And if you're going to make a purchase, use that promo code BATSCAPED. You get that 20% off, you get free shipping, and you're also supporting Holy BatCast in the process. So everybody wins. You get good products, you get trimmed balls, you get a discount, and Manscaped keeps supporting us, and it's great. We're all good. So yeah, please do. We love their stuff. Me, Brendan, and Jamie have all been very happy with it. And then the other folks who listen, who've told me, they've been like, you know what? I ordered one. I loved it. And I was like, I told you would. So get yourself a trimmer, get yourself some, deodorant, whatever it is that you need. You want to smell nice, and you might as well treat yourself. Get yourself some quality products, save a little money, and support a Batman podcast. Anyway, go back to manscaped.com. And we thank you to everybody who's made those orders. And if you haven't yet, please do. Just use that promo code BATSCAPED for 20% off and free shipping. So thanks. Let's get to the subject at hand. Unfortunately, last week on August 26th, we lost Arleen Sorkin.
I'm on at the roll. Let's get it. Okay, 2 drummer boys going to a bar. Ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. Boy, you're a rough crowd. You forceth me to shoot at you the moon.
This is another one that kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I don't think we knew that she was sick. Apparently, she had been sick for a while. But we didn't know. I mean, maybe others did, but to me, it seemed like it was kind of a secret. But it explains a lot, Brendan, because I feel like over the most recent years, and 10 years as it were, I always wondered, I was like, oh, it's weird that they don't bring her back to do more Harley. And I always thought that was like kind of a bummer, where I'm like, listen, I love, the character's got to live on past her. And so I have no problem with different actors doing Harley. And I think that's cool. But I would think that every once in a while she would have come back to do it. And she hasn't since 2012. And I always thought that was odd. And then realizing, oh, it's because she's been sick. And I'm like, okay. That makes a lot of sense. So she did officially retire in 2012 of doing Harley Quinn, which is why, we have not heard her do Harley in quite a while.
Is that for one of the Arkham games?
The last thing she did as Harley was the DC Universe Online.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Which was 2011 and 2012. So, anyway, it's always a bummer when we lose a member of the Bat family, and Arleen Sorkin is one that she changed the Bat universe, and it's amazing, and it's a hell of a legacy, and we want to celebrate that. And so we thought, let's dedicate this episode to Arleen. And so we want to talk about Arleen, and we also want to do a little revisiting of some of her favorite episodes of Batman the Animated Series. So I actually have quite a bit of info here and some info about Arleen Sorkin, but she did an interview with Starlog, and I can't figure out when this interview happened. I thought it was the late 90s, but it's really hard to tell because it's been like archived and the date isn't there anymore, and I couldn't find it. But a lot of the quotes from Arleen Sorkin about Harley Quinn came from this Starlog interview. So I wanted to give credit to that. So the interview was done by Pat Jankowitz, and it was from Starlog. You can find it. Just search for Arleen Sorkin Starlog interview. It'll come up. And it's a great read, and you really get a feel for her because it seems like she didn't do a ton of interviews about Harley. So this one I think was really good. But in this interview, she said that her two favorite episodes that she did were Harley and Ivy and Harley's Holiday. So after we get done talking about Arleen, we're going to watch Harley and Ivy. We're going to watch Harley's Holiday, and we're going to just do a little commentary as we watch, as we like to do. And so, yeah, we thought that was a good way to celebrate Arleen Sorkin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how much do you know about the story of how Arleen Sorkin got involved with Harley Quinn?
It's all from memory, but listening to Fat Man on Batman, when it was Fat Man on Batman in the original run back in the day, I remember he had Paul Dini on talking about it, and I remember he had Arleen on in one of the early episodes as well.
I don't remember him having Arleen on.
Yeah, and he actually they only re-released that episode like when she passed away. He reposted.
Oh wow, I'll have to go back and re-listen because I don't remember that. So thanks for the reminder.
Oh, that's all good. And from memory, Paul Dini was at home, and was it Days of Our Lives that he was watching, or there was something with him that he was watching with her in it, and she was dressed as a clown.
Mm-hmm.
And that sort of inspired him for Harley Quinn, and then she ended up voicing the character, and the rest is history. I know that's a very brief summary, but that's how I remember it anyway.
No, you're right on, and it's funny because I knew bits and pieces over the years from interviews with Paul Dini, or things that I read, or things that I heard, or things that people said, but like I never really got the whole full story. And then leading up to this conversation, I was like, well, let me look it up. Let me see what everybody has said and kind of put it together. But you're right. This was in 1991, where Paul Dini and Bruce Timm were hard at work on the first season of Batman the Animated Series, and they were writing that first batch of episodes, and they were going to do Joker's favor. And that was when Paul Dini had the idea of like, well, the Joker's always got henchmen. Why can't he have a henchwoman? Especially because in the 60s Batman show, all the male villains used to have at least one female hanger on her. Right. Oh yeah. And so he's like, why can't, he's like, let's do that. Let's have a female henchwoman for the Joker. And then he was homesick. And when he was homesick, he put in a videotape that his friend Arleen Sorkin sent to him. And the videotape was of her on Days of Our Lives. And it was like all of her favorite moments thus far from the soap opera. So the two of them went to college together at Emerson College. And at some point, she sent him a VHS of like, here's some of my favorite things that I did on Days of Our Lives. And while he was homesick, he popped it in and watched it. And in there, yes, there is this dream sequence. And I watched the whole thing in its entirety. It is out there on YouTube, where it's a dream sequence where her character is kind of a court jester and is very silly, and she's wearing a pink and blue glittery clown outfit, and you can kind of sort of hear a little bit of Harley in her voice. She hadn't, fully committed to the Harley voice yet, but watching that was where he was like, oh my God, like that's it. We need to do that, and she would be perfect. And so Paul Dini said that Harley Quinn would be a funny counterpoint to the Joker, and make up and maybe work up a little Punch and Judy attitude between them. And she could crack a joke, and then the henchman would laugh, and Joker would just kind of glare at her. And so after he, saw this video, he called her and he said, "You'd be perfect. I'm writing this character for the Batman show, and I think it's great." And so he asked her to audition. And so when she read the script, she said that she heard Harley's voice, and it was very similar to Adelaide from Guys and Dolls.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know Guys and Dolls at all.
No.
But it makes sense if you know that show. We did that show in high school. And so Adelaide is she's like kind of ditzy. She's very New York, but she's smarter than she seems. But she had this very distinctive voice, and she sings this song. It's called Adelaide's Lament, but most people call it A Person Can Develop a Cold. And Arleen sang that song on the whole drive to the audition. And by the time she got in the audition, she had the voice nailed.
Right. Because it kind of reminds me of the I can't remember the character's name now, from Singing in the Rain. The one that's like the real famous one, but then she can't. Yeah. She's got a terrible voice, so she can't move into talkies.
Yeah,
it kind of reminds me of that.
That makes sense. And so so she nailed the audition. She got the gig, and so then Deanie really started shaping the character of Harley to meet Arleen. And so she said, or no, this was Deanie that said it. He said that basing Harley on Arleen Sorkin, he made her very snappy, wisecracking, bubbly blonde, and he made her Jewish, just like Arleen Sorkin. And then Arleen Sorkin said about Harley, she's a girl who wants to do the right thing, but it's just not within her control. She wants to be a good girl, but it's just so much more her to be a bad one. I think she's popular because of her vulnerability.
Could you imagine if she would audition for the role and didn't get it? It'd be like
I
Annie
know, right?
Hudson all over again.
Like, yeah, you'd be perfect. Sorry, we're going with someone else. Well, it's kind of like Tim Curry and the Joker, right?
That's true, but I mean, Tim Curry hadn't played the Joker in a live-action movie,
right?
And then they got told, no, sorry, we're going in a different direction.
Yeah, true. So Paul Dini decided to name her Harley Quinn because it was a pun, and again, it reminded him of the '60s show. And then also, he just thought Harley was a fun name for a girl.
Turns out it is.
Yeah, it is. I think that I would agree. And so Deanie did sort of an initial rough design, but Deanie's a writer, not an artist. And then Bruce Timm took it and really turned it into the Harley Quinn that we all know and love from Joker's Favor, giving a simplified villain look of a traditional Harlequin. And so Arleen, talking about like how the character then became more based on her specifically, she said, it's completely flattering. Knowing that makes it a joyful experience. I don't feel that I'll ever be recast, so that's good too. And so again, that's why I think that this interview was like in the 90s, because she was still talking in the present tense. And at that point, it sounds like she was the only voice for Harley.
Yeah.
And we've had a lot since then. And then talking about like how similar Harley Quinn was to her, she said, her naturally blonde hair is certainly not me. Her occasional use of the word oi is very much me. That fantastic figure is also me, as is her joie de vivre and those high pointy breasts.
Fair enough.
It says, I love the name Harleen so much. If I had to do it all over again, I'd go back and make my name Harleen instead of Arleen, because it's a great name. Doing Batman's been terrific. When we talk, I know that Paul's not really listening to me. He's filing away ideas while I'm talking to him. So she did appear in Joker's Favor. That was the 7th episode of season 1. And it was just going to be one episode. It was just a character they made up for the one episode. But after watching the rough cut, everyone was impressed. Everyone thought she was a great character, and they wanted to keep using her. And I didn't know this. Apparently, Bruce Timm and Alan Purnett didn't want to keep using her because they were afraid that giving the Joker a girlfriend would humanize him too much.
I mean, I can see that.
Yeah, especially because it had never been done.
Yeah.
You know, like
time.
Yeah.
Imagine if they didn't.
I know. So yeah, they pushed back a little bit, but it didn't matter. It history had other plans. And Paul Dini said eventually each of the directors wanted to do a Harley episode, so the character began to appear in stories without the Joker. Over the years, she's allied with her best gal pal Poison Ivy for occasional romps through Gotham, and has even succeeded in giving Batman a hard time on her own. We now look upon Harley as our series wild card, capable of showing up anytime to bedevil our heroes with her screwball antics. So I do love that, yeah, she just made such an impression as a character, as a design, and specifically because of how much personality Arleen Sorkin gave her from the very beginning. Because she almost came out fully formed. I think we talked about Joker's Favor not that long ago. I can't remember why. But yeah, we
Might have
did it
been
for
the
something.
anniversary, maybe, I don't know. Yeah,
Maybe. But yeah, like when you look back at it, you don't even think like, oh, they hadn't figured out Harley yet. She just feels like Harley.
yeah, absolutely. Like she's fully formed. The character's there, and they hit the ground running, and she only got better over time. I mean, my God,
Yeah,
she's a
exactly.
juggernaut.
I mean, I think that she has become in the DC universe. Oof, I think Wonder Woman, as far as female characters, I think Wonder Woman still reigns supreme, but I don't know if Harley or Catwoman comes next.
Honestly, today I'd go Harley. It's hard not to.
Yeah, it's a tough call, but I mean that's how big Harley Quinn has become and how much she's evolved since then. So, yeah, and so obviously Arleen Sorkin did Batman the Animated Series. She said, you know, she gave all the credit to Paul Dini and Bruce Timm, being like, listen, they create it. I threw in a few ideas here and there, but you know, they're the ones who create it, and I show up and I, you know, and she said something to the effect of, you know, like I use my accessories in my acting, my high heels and my earrings and everything. And Harley's the one time where I get to show up. I don't have to rely on any of that, and I can just do the voice. But she did Batman the Animated Series, but then she also did the new Batman Adventures, and then she showed up as Harley in Static Shock, Justice League, Gotham Girls, Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, and then video games like Batman Vengeance and Arkham Asylum. And then she did DC Universe Online in 2011 and 2012. And again, that's when she retired doing the character's voice and has passed that torch to now many actors who've done Harley Quinn. She passed, you know, Tara Strong has done Harley Quinn. Obviously, Kaylee Cuoco in the show, Melissa Roach in the Batman and Harley Quinn
girls,
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, obviously Margot Robbie, like, yeah, Harley Quinn is now has had many people do that interpretation, but it all started and was really the bar was set with Arleen Sorkin.
I mean, we were, you know, talking about the popularity and everything. When was the last time we had a Batman animated series? 2012, 2013?
Would that be Beware the Batman the last one? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's the only animated series at the moment that's Batman related?
Yeah.
You know, for a decade. It's a Harley series.
Right. True.
Says a lot.
Yep. So, again, she cited her two favorite episodes as Harley and Ivy and Harley's Holiday. So, want to watch some Batman the Animated Series?
Always.
It's always a good reason to. Okay, so guys, we're gonna do some watch along, talk along for these two episodes of Batman the Animated Series. Arleen's favorite. So first one is Harley and Ivy. Now I'm watching it on iTunes, so for me it shows it as season 2, episode 28. But for you said it's still showing it as part of season 1.
For me, I'm streaming it on Stan here in Australia, and it's like season 1, episode 57 or something. It's insane.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, very strange.
Yeah. So get your Harley and Ivy ready. Get your episode up. I've got it at 0000. It's going to start just on that WB logo. I think it's going to be close enough.
Yeah.
So if you at home are overachievers, and I appreciate the overachievers who told me that they really did watch The Dark Knight with us. And then someone, it might be in our email, or I can't remember how I got the message, but someone even said like, damn it, I think I know the movie so well, so I don't watch along. And then you guys say something without talking about what scene it is. And now I'm like, damn it, what are they talking about? So there you go. That's why you should watch along. But if you don't, that's okay. It's all good. So get your copy of Harley and Ivy ready, and we are going to watch it together. You ready?
Always, my friend.
Okay, great. So got my volume down, got my subtitles on. Gonna hit play in 3, 2, 1. Okay, Warner Brothers Animation.
Theme music.
Yep, I can hear it. And those damn blimps with the evil eyes, I love them. And what a game changer this whole show was. Obviously, we've talked about it, but God, like, you know, in the wake of Arleen's passing, I've heard other tributes and articles and things written about her and her contributions to the character and to the lore. But right there along with it was just talking about how this show just changed the game, and it changed the perception of what animation can be, and how much it's added to the Batman mythology, including Harley Quinn.
Very true. It's, when you look back, because this show's 30 years old now, like,
shut up.
When I was a kid in the 90s and everything, like, you'd watch the Flintstones and Scooby-Doo that were like from the 60s and 70s, and it looked old. Whereas to me, pardon me, Batman the Animated Series doesn't look old. I mean, it may to young kids, but it just doesn't have that feel to me.
No. All right, Harley and Ivy has begun. It is a Paul Dini episode, so worth mentioning. I think it said it was directed by Boyd Kirkland. And we kick it off with a chase. The Batmobile tearing through Gotham, chasing, looks like Harley. I don't know if it's Harley and Joker.
It's Harley and Joker.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's been a minute since I've watched this episode.
Also, my subtitles just said Joker laughing, so.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, so it's Harley driving and Joker just lounging in the back. And what a great way to just kick it off, is in the middle of a chase scene.
And yeah, literally Joker sitting back and Harley doing all the work.
Yep.
Which is quite common for those two in their relationship.
Right.
Like he's forcing her to make a turn. She knows it's the wrong thing to do, but she can't talk back. And I
will say, and I think I've said this recently, is that like I do love Harley on her own, but I do miss the interplay between Harley and Joker because I feel like we don't get that much anymore.
Yeah. But I mean, with the animated series, it's all Harley and Ivy.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I don't mind either. Especially not those versions of the characters.
Yep. God, it is so jarring to see them use real guns.
Yes.
Well, this one's a pop gun, right, with a bang. But like the fact that it looks like a real gun, and right now we're watching The Batman, and they go back to using
lasers.
Yeah, like laser guns.
This show was revolutionary in so many ways. God, they got away with some stuff.
Yeah.
Old harpoon coming off the Batmobile. You don't often see the Batmobile using its gadgets.
Not in this show, you're right. That's a good point. And we love a good Batmobile chase anyway. So
hell yeah, we've even ranked them.
I know we did. Let's do it again. That was fun.
I remember this. This is pretty cool. The whole back of the car just pops off.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. That feels like it should be a toy.
Yes.
You should be able to buy the Joker car with the back that pops out.
You could buy a Joker car, but it wasn't like this one.
Okay. I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was yellow and green and had a big smiley Joker face underneath it, I think.
Oh, so this time he's at an abandoned comedy club. And has, the coolest Joker throne of his own face.
The abandoned funhouse was too on the nose, so.
Well, you got to mix it up, like.
And I love to. I mean, this show introduced the hyenas as well.
Yeah,
and that's a staple with Joker and Harley as well. All these years later.
Oh, and right there is the moment that Paul Dini's talking about. Is Harley cracks a joke, the henchmen laugh, and Joker's just mad, and Harley's like the only one who can get away with that. But like any bad boss, when the things go wrong, you need someone to blame.
Joker crotch shot there. I mean, she kind of is.
Yeah, she proves that. Isn't that mad love when she proves that she does better than the Joker? I forgot all about this little prologue to this of him kicking her out. Yeah. Like my memory is it opens with them already broken up, but no, I forgot that it actually happens in the episode.
I do like that they turned Mad Love into an episode. I just hate that it was season 4.
Yeah.
The new animation style.
Mm-hmm. And she is such a great design. Like, that was just so perfect of
Yeah.
Deanie and Tim.
It's very incognito.
Nothing to see here.
So they're showing a museum in a Batman cartoon.
That's right.
It never bodes well.
Harley going solo.
It's the way the wind's coming.
It's a precursor of things to come. I mean, because it's crazy that not only has she become just sort of an integral part of the DC universe, but she went solo. It's like, and she doesn't need the Joker anymore, and it's crazy. And it's funny because I see it both ways. I love when you can have Harley solo stories, but yeah, sometimes I just miss her and the Joker out there causing chaos.
That was a perfect, like the way her relationship with Joker just then, like a perfect example where, she's stealing the Harley Quinn diamond and she's like, I can't wait to give it to Mr. J. And she's like, no, I'm keeping it for myself. And like, maybe. Like she's still very dependent on the Joker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it just so happens that, because it's a Gotham museum, Poison Ivy's also stealing something that night. Odds are pretty good.
This is another thing just in terms of Harley Quinn herself, the right, like Deanie doing this, I can't imagine he would have thought pairing these two together would forge like a real lasting relationship in terms of pop culture and comics and cartoons. Like I said, 30 years later and the Harley Quinn cartoon, her sidekick or her partner is Ivy. I mean,
yeah,
he's just paired two female characters together in an episode, like probably just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
And look what we've got, it's a game changer.
Yeah, I agree. And I love that about this too, is like of Deanie being like, hey, it'd be kind of fun to have Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy team up for an episode, something different, something to do. And yeah, I think it was probably that's all it was, yeah, sounds like fun. And it just worked. It's like chocolate and peanut butter. It just worked. And now Harley and Ivy is just as much a duo as Harley and the Joker.
Mm-hmm. And she actually gets down with Poison Ivy.
Yeah, I'm like, and now they're really a duo.
Especially in that show. My God.
Yeah, it's scissor time in Gotham.
It's a bit of a throwback to Batman 89. What car? Rosebud.
Yeah, that's nice. The Ivy mobile. Ivy gets a mobile too. I feel like that moment where they high five in the car to me is very iconic. Like I always remember that moment.
Yeah. Just trying to remember if it's this one where Montoya's like really taking it personally that she can't catch them. She's super pissed.
Oh, wow. I forgot about this of like
taking the shots.
Yeah.
And this is perfect Harley too, acting like a child.
Mm-hmm. Woof. Yeah, I forgot about Poison Ivy living in like this toxic wasteland and having to give Harley the shot so she'll be okay.
This stuff, what she's saying now, the dialogue, that's about how, Mr. J can be a little rough sometimes, but he really does love me. And she just said, living with Mr. J, I think I'd be used to some pain. Like, probably couldn't say that in a cartoon these days.
Yeah. Well, and that's just it. It's like it is mature, but to me, it doesn't feel like it's crossing any lines. It's just not afraid to actually be about something.
Mm. This kind of reminds me of Joker's Favor, like all the men in the room. And...
Yeah. I was thinking of the big speech in Batman 89.
I love indistinct chatter in these sort of cartoons. Oh, who is that? Oh, yeah. Again, she's got a point. Men's clubs not letting women in.
Yep. Dropping edamame on the floor. They're really just appetizers. God, I really haven't seen this one in a while. A lot of this is like, I don't remember this part. Is that the first time she calls her Red?
I think so, yeah.
Because that becomes also a staple. You got two partners, and even just visually speaking, how like the green and the red like play off each other with Harley and Ivy.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, we know Deanie loves Christmas, so
this is true.
Green and red. Who are getting these photos? For the front
They're real. Peter Parker. He's really good. All right, I like
for that one.
Yeah, they did. They're like, you know what? It's fine.
I think this is the scene. Is this the scene with the food?
I like the drawing. Did you see it where it says Catwoman? Haha.
Yeah.
Where it's like a scribble drawing of Catwoman, like they were making fun of her.
Yeah, this is the scene with the food. I always remember this from this episode.
Oh yeah.
Beet juice.
Oh man.
Weirds me out how you guys just call them beets.
What do you call them?
Beetroot.
Oh. I always remember the salad Joker face.
And they had to fade the face in just so we knew what she meant.
Thank goodness.
You know, it's for kids.
I would not have gotten it.
But it was good too, putting her with a very strong independent. I mean, it would have either been her or Catwoman, and I guess, you know, even like you just said, the color scheme kind of works better with Ivy. But to put her with this strong, independent woman to show her what she could be.
Well, I also think that, like, at this point in the series, Catwoman had already gotten a lot of time, a lot of play, and Poison Ivy probably hadn't. And so it's like, well, no, like, this will give Poison Ivy a little more something to do.
Just in terms of pop culture as well. Like, I think I've said it on one of our episodes before. Like, I didn't know all the Rogues Gallery until this episode. I mean, my Rogues Gallery, it was Batman 66. And, you know, who'd been in the two Burton movies at that stage. I'd never heard of Two-Face. I'd never heard of Poison Ivy. You know, Mad Hatter, like, Two-Face and Poison Ivy are probably the two big ones.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
So, you know, I loved having those characters introduced to me in that way. And then, yeah, the fact that they use Poison Ivy a lot in this show, and I loved it.
Mm-hmm. I also think that last scene of the Joker is, like, it's such a cliche of, like, oh, you know,
that's
men
the one
can't take care of themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, Joker and his jocks before.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's like, oh, you know, men don't know how to get dressed without the ladies in their life. Stuff like that.
This I love. The 90s version of 50s teenagers.
Auga. You know, we did say that a lot in the 90s. Auga.
I love this. Spankers. Here's the paddle.
Pulls out a bazooka. Oh my God.
Love it.
Listen, if you live in Gotham and you don't recognize two supervillains in the car next to you, you deserve what you get. Oh yeah, Batman's in this. Look at that.
So we're more than halfway through, and this is the first time we see Batman.
Well, we saw him in the opening chase, but
true,
yeah,
I guess, yeah.
But like there was a big gap where I was like, oh yeah, Batman. We should check in on him, huh? There's some these are great
who
shots.
Takes these headshots?
Yeah, they're really good.
I love that they've kind of done what TVs used to do back in the day when you'd film them with a camera, how you'd actually see the lines and stuff and all the, you know, I'm sure that's not what it looks like when he's looking at it. So they're actually acknowledging the fact that it's being filmed.
Right. Oh, and he's got a little bat breather, which we love. Oh, no, not the late night call to your ex. Don't do it. Don't do it. But we've all been there.
This would be a text message these days.
That's true. A drunken text.
Just with you up.
But I do appreciate the whole, like, it's the whole breakup, you know, the stages of a breakup, right? Of like anger and then regret. And then like, you know, your friend being like, no, you can't go back. It's over. Just let it be. And yeah, the embarrassing phone call or text. Hey, Batman, what's up?
Not to be a perv, but I do like Harley and
But
Ivy
you
wearing,
are.
Just the shirts.
Have you ever seen the thing where it's like women when they wear a shirt and no bottoms, sexy. Men when they wear a shirt and no bottoms, creepy.
It's very true.
It's so true. Girl power. So tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
Yeah, I mean, there are some powerful messages in this episode of, a 30-year-old Batman cartoon that are very relevant today.
Hey, Batman, look, that's his women's lib. He's like, I don't care about gender. A sick mind can do anything, even try to kill me.
The big sexy hair wave from Poison Ivy.
Yeah, she uses L'Oreal. That's the toxic waste from Shrek's clean textile textile plant.
There's no way Batman survives that. He's already dead.
No, he's fine.
It's as poisonous as they say it is. I do like when the Joker wears the wide brim hat.
Oh, yeah, me too. Looks great.
Joker's goons are funny. These two guys.
Where'd they get looks like meat?
Hold it in, Rocco. I always think of them reading the Tiny Toons cartoon, the comics from the Joker's Favor episode.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, see, this is where the cliffhanger for a Batman 66 episode would go.
It would actually, yeah.
That's okay. At least it's like only a little toxic waste that you can like be immersed in.
It's just been toxic waste for about 40 seconds.
Maybe it just gave him more superpowers. Maybe it made him like Daredevil with a radar vision. Well, and I can understand why Arleen Sorkin loved this one, because she gets to play a lot of different angles of the character in this, Yeah. It's not one note at all. She definitely goes through a journey and an arc.
Woof.
Nice to see Poison Ivy kicking Joker around a little bit. I do love when Batman's villains often fight each other.
Yes.
And he ended up with spaghetti on his head, just like a toddler. Now he's got to recreate that picture 30 years later.
Oh, God. Smash into the Joker's car. To hell with it.
Yep. Good thing he has that back that detaches. Oh, man.
That's a full-on Tommy gun.
Yep. For the kids.
And Batman just trying to appeal to his sanity, which there is none.
There's some really nice animation in this too, with the explosions and the flames, and
yes,
just some of the shots of Harley and Ivy, like you said, the glamorous hair flip and everything. Like, this is a really well animated episode. I feel like that's one of the things that Dini has always done so well. And I think we said it a lot when we've talked about Dini episodes is he just fits a lot of story into 22 minutes. And this is a perfect example. So much happens, but it never feels rushed. Like it's crazy. You get that whole prologue, you get them breaking up, you get Harley and Ivy meeting, you get them teaming up, going on a crime spree. Like, man, it moves.
Imagine if you had 2 to 2.5 hours to work with.
I know, right? Oh, and Batman saves the Joker, his one true love.
That's a cool shot of the Batmobile flying out of the flames.
Yeah. It'd be like if I ever saved you from a burning building.
And who took him down?
Oh, Montoya. And we're at Arkham Asylum. Looks great.
The old He-Man Woman Haters Club there.
Yep. Oh, Harley. I think we can still work it out. And Poison Ivy's just not having it. But at least they get to continue their friendship at Arkham. Wow, there we go. That was it. So fun.
It's a great episode.
It is such a good episode. And yeah, it really has been a while since I watched it. I love it. And yeah, again, so much happens. And I understand why Arleen Sorkin cited it as one of her favorites, because it's Harley is the star and she gets to do so much with Harley in that. But it's a great Poison Ivy episode. It's a great Joker episode and a great Batman episode. They do a lot.
That's Dini for you.
Yep. So this is what Arleen Sorkin said about Harley and Ivy. She said, "I love it because there's a great relationship between Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Anybody who's ever had a girlfriend obsessed with some guy and just want to tell her to get over yourself can relate. I also love all her stuff pertaining to the Joker. I thought it was cute when Harley did the drawing of the Joker's face in her salad. I also liked working with Diane Pershing, Poison Ivy, very much." So, very nice.
I thought it was... Oh no, Adrienne Barbeau was Catwoman, wasn't she?
That was Catwoman, yep.
I always get that mixed up for some reason. In my mind, she's Poison Ivy, but it's Catwoman.
That's all right. So that was Harley and Ivy, a classic. And yeah, like we said, kind of a random, like, hey, let's try this. And now Harley and Ivy just go together.
They're a great team.
They do. They make a great team. All right, let's move to Harley's Holiday. Now, again, on iTunes, which is where I'm watching it, it shows Harley's Holiday as Season 3, Episode 25.
Season 2, Episode 16.
Okay. I mean, we've talked about it before. The numbering of the episodes is just whatever. So, all right, got it ready to go. I'm going to get it to 0000. Oh, we are in a new season because it's a different opening. All right, so I'm at 0000 for Harley's Holiday. Are you ready to go, Brendan?
I am.
Okay, here we go. We're going to hit play in 3, 2, 1. Play. So yeah, this time we got the old Bugs Bunny family entertainment thing, which I forgot about.
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah. Got the Adventures of Batman and Robin opener as well.
The Adventures of Batman and Robin. I love this opening because it's Batman and Robin. I just wish they had done specific animation for it instead of just cutting stuff from the show. Because it is cool, but like the fact that the original opening was animated just to be the opening, it just looks so good, and this can't quite compare.
No, there's a bit of Robin's Reckoning in this, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and the shots they choose are great. It's just you can just tell it's like animated from clips of the show as opposed to being more cohesive. But it's just nice to see Batman and Robin together.
And the proper Robin.
One of them.
Shit.
All right, Harley's Holiday. What an amazing title card, though.
Yeah.
Also written by Paul Dini, but yeah, just that shot. Directed by Kevin Altieri, who we talked to on the show. Yeah. But yeah, that title card artwork is amazing of Harley in the outfit with the hyenas. And we open up at Arkham, and Harley Quinn is going to be released for finally being mentally sane and sound.
although she's not acting like it.
Well, in Gotham, they grade on a curve.
I sure do.
And so, yeah, it's Christmas Eve. She's getting released the next day.
Scarecrow cameo.
Hey, I love it. I feel like later on in the series, you rarely saw him without his mask. So that's interesting. I forgot about that. Would you like to see my mask?
If you mean yours, is the one with the ball gag in the mouth?
No, that's a different one.
Okay.
Look at Batman! Batman offering a hand to Harley. We love that.
I love this though. Just not letting go.
It's nice where he's like, good luck, congratulations, but I'll be watching.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, no, you saw my Scarecrow mask. That
did.
I bought it for Halloween, but really it just works as a Scarecrow mask. All right, Harley's free. And as any free person, she's walking two terrifying hyenas down the street.
Yeah, on roller skates. Total geek.
Her
40% off plaid skirts.
Her sentence couldn't have been very long. I feel like it, I mean, we know no one ages in these things, but still.
Oh, Veronica Vierland.
Oh my God, yeah. Yep, 3 buttons is a little 90s, Bruce.
We're seeing Bruce not in the yellow.
Yeah.
Bruce having a little blush there.
And Harley goes shopping. We need a shopping montage like Holiday Nights.
I love this. They're cowering away from Bruce.
I remember at one point thinking that this was going to be a Christmas episode because it's Harley's holiday.
Ah, gotcha, of course.
It was not. It was not. Don't be fooled, folks. If you're just looking at titles for Christmas viewing, this one ain't it. But I appreciate Harley. It's her first day free where she's like, all right, Bruce Wayne. It's been a minute for me.
I love this. It's like, remember me? I was the one holding the gun on you.
See? Same. I mean, I carry around my sane documentation just in case.
You never know when you'll need it.
It's important. It is. You just never know. This one's such a sweet one, though, because, Harley really is just trying to do her best. And
yeah.
She's just doomed.
Acme. It's a hell of an alarm for a dress.
I know.
She just doesn't understand.
I know. You just want things to go well for her, but,
some pretty weak glass.
If they did, there would be no episode.
A couple of shot mannequins falling into the window just completely smashes it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Bruce using an actual dressing room?
Poor Harley.
At least she had the outfit. She's so mad. I like how quickly this happened. She's been out, an hour? Society is to blame. She's ready to make everyone pay. I'm armed. Yeah. Sometimes puns can be good. Oh, see, there's a whole alternate reality where Harley and Veronica Vreeland hook up.
And she loves the redheads.
Yeah, see, it's her type. But I just love how little it took to push her over the edge.
Bullock's another character I'd never heard of before this show.
I think this was my introduction to Bullock as well. I agree. And what an amazing commissioner. Oh my God.
Her dad, yeah.
General Vreeland. What the hell? I completely forgot about him.
Full-on military guy.
I know. He wears this every day. General Patton.
The old pants and poke out on the sides.
Yeah, unless he like knew that he was going to go try to intimidate Commissioner Gordon. He's like, I better put on my military outfit just in case.
So a guy
It commands more respect. Yeah, more than my Bermuda shorts.
In the original Mummy episode, original Mummy movie I watched yesterday, someone rocking a pair of those pants.
Yeah. All right, Robin. And I love that Batman still gives her the benefit of the doubt. He wants to help her, you know? Bullock looks just as crazy as the Joker. Yeah. How long has she been driving around with Veronica Vreeland screaming in the back?
Couple hours.
Right? Just driving around town.
She had a full tank of fuel.
I hope so. Yeah.
Please, Miss Clown. So you could hear each other.
What's that?
So as if you could hear each other talking in that situation.
Well, you know, cartoons and all.
God. Poor Bullock can't get a break.
Just pure chaos. More explosions, fire hydrants exploding, cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. I like that both of these Harley episodes have big Batmobile chases.
Fair point, they do too. I like this.
And this is a perfect example of this is, you know, at this point, it's a Harley episode without the Joker.
Give me a reason. Just lays one on him.
Oh, creepy.
Yeah, just a bit.
All those guys crowding around Veronica.
I've seen that video.
Her outfit looks like what Wilma wears in the Flintstones movie.
She really does.
Veronica's, yeah. Like, yeah, where it's, yeah, when Wilma's big expensive gown when they go to Tavern on the Green. Or Cavern on the Green.
Oh, cool shot of Batman.
What's up, Batman? And Robin. The well-placed fish. This whole fight just has to be smelly.
Smells like the Goop factory. With all those scented candles.
Oh, Harley, get your own hostage. Listen,
Robin
fish
using
nunchucks.
fish for
Do
nunchucks,
what you gotta do. Yeah.
What is this, Ninja Turtles 2?
Yeah, it is. No, these are fish. It's not pepperoni. It's completely different.
Just a cork.
Did we know this guy? I don't know this gangster.
No, this is just a one-off.
That's what I thought.
But obviously, they've got some history.
Now, are they Lou and Bud yet? The hyenas?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either, because I haven't seen her call them that. I know that's who eventually they became, but yeah, I feel like maybe at this point they were just unnamed. And you know that my Harley has 2 stuffed hyenas, Bud and Lou.
Oh, does she? I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, those are courtesy of Uncle Jamie Drewley.
Oh, that's cool.
And she actually loves them. She hugs them a lot.
Well, I sent you guys a photo yesterday, I think it was. Henry's in a real stage of hugging the koala that you guys sent him.
Yeah, I love it. He just knows.
I feel a little bit responsible for all this.
I mean, it is true. Like, Harley became so sympathetic, you know?
Yeah. You wouldn't want to be a bridge in Gotham City either.
See? They're about to Thelma and Louise it. The way Veronica sort of just given up and she put her feet up and yeah.
Oh, that's right. I remember what happens now. Friggin' tank.
Oh my God. I don't remember the tank. I'll be honest. I don't remember Veronica's
Daddy
General Patton tank. He's crazy.
Daddy? Yeah.
He's like his own Batman villain.
No, that's your father in a tank. Some great lines.
Yeah, he's causing more damage than Harley at this point. Blowing up the street with a tank. It's a fast tank, too. If this was a Batman 60s show, he would be the Batman villain.
Yeah, like Captain Military or something.
Yeah.
Hopefully there weren't anyone making out in that car.
Yeah, just running over people, like civilians' cars that are parked on the street. Man, between Bullock and General Vreeland, these guys are just as bad as Harley. Just leaving car pieces everywhere. It's like planes, trains, and automobiles. Great shot of the Batmobile in the alley.
I love the low to the ground front on shots they do with this Batmobile.
Yeah. Wow.
Bullock's
Oh my God. Yeah. The tank, the fish truck, Bullock's car, the Batmobile. If I was Batman, I'd be like, let's just go home. Like y'all are a mess, every one of you.
Robin just...
Yeah, Robin just watching. Oh, the old hearts on the boxers.
Yeah, the old comedy boxers. I'm sure I can find something. Batman's still trying to just do right by her.
Mm-hmm. This is a great scene on the rooftop between the two of them. The neon in the background.
It's crazy good how it escalated, though, you know, from her just actually paying for something and then just needing to take the security tag off.
Yeah.
To having, you know, the cops, Batman, and the friggin' military chasing after
Right?
her.
Yeah. I guess there's a little Joker cameo. His face is on the grenade.
I think this is one of those cartoon things as well, where there's actually physically something in the billboard.
Oh my God. There was actual cereal on the spoon.
Yeah.
That's how it works. But yeah, like just this sequence is great. Using all of these billboards and neon and everything as set pieces is really cool.
You won't be saying that in a few years' time.
What?
Using all the neon and stuff in set pieces. Like back in 92 or whatever was this came out, I'm like, you wouldn't be saying that in a few years' time.
Oh, right. Oh, poor Harley back in Arkham.
As much as I love the traditional, like, full-on Harlequin look, I do like Harley when you can see her face.
Yeah.
With the pigtails.
Oh,
he got the dress for her.
It's like, what an amazing ending. I had a bad day once too. Harley just lands one on Batman.
She's not done.
I know.
And Poison Ivy.
What?
Robin's like, what about me?
Just a terrific exchange between them in the ending here.
Yeah, what are you looking at? I wouldn't have a plant in Poison Ivy's room either, just quietly.
True. All right. Very nice. So that is Harley's Holiday. Perfect ending. I forgot just how good that one was. It's terrific. Here's what Arleen Sorkin said about Harley's Holiday. She said that I suggested that one to Paul. When I was on Duet, which is a show that she did, she said that my character was a thief, and I thought it would be a funny running gag if she wore outfits with security tags still on them. They didn't take the idea, so I brought it to Paul. The idea of having Harley walk out of a store wearing a dress with the tag still on. The security thing goes off, and she's worried she'll go back to prison. So there you go. Arleen Sorkin actually planted the seed of the idea of what became Harley's Holiday, which I think is really cool.
Good on you, Arleen.
Yeah, another really great episode, and really fun. And yeah, I totally understand why these are two of her favorites, because aside from them just being Harley centric,
Yeah.
they're about her, but even they feel like two very pivotal turning points in the character.
Oh, absolutely.
Where she breaks away from the Joker, and then she really shows that she does want to do right despite what circumstances allow. And so, like, yeah, I think these are aside from just being really fun and good episodes, they really add a lot to the evolution of the character of Harley Quinn.
No, I can't argue with that. That's really, really well said.
All right. Well, great episodes, guys. I hope you guys watched them. If you didn't watch them, you just listened, sometime this weekend, pop them on, watch them, celebrate Harley Quinn, celebrate Arleen Sorkin. And just the last couple words about Arleen Sorkin. This is where she left it, talking about being the voice of Harley Quinn. She said, "It's really fun. Not many people know or even recognize that it's my voice. I'm working on Pride and Joy," and this was a TV show that she produced, said, "It's a good fun show, and I wore a jacket. Paul gave me a jacket with Harley on the back, and this guy was going nuts over it. When I told him that I was Harley's voice, he was delighted. I guess the credits go by so fast that you don't really know who does the voices. He was so impressed. The fact that I'm producing a TV series meant nothing to him, but the fact that I had voiced Harley Quinn made me a goddess."
Fair point.
And you were a goddess, Arleen Sorkin. We love you. Rest in power, goddess.
Yeah, well said.
All right. Well, there we go. She brought so much to the role. She brought so much to the world. And like so many of these people, even though she's left us, her work and her legacy will live on. And so all we can do is remember that and celebrate it. And I'm glad we got to do that together tonight.
Absolutely. What a legend.
Yep. All right. So sending Arleen Sorkin nothing but love wherever she may be. Let's move on, though. Let's get back to something we've been doing and taking time on and off and everything. We're going to watch another animated episode. This one we're not doing in real time. We watched it in advance. But it is time for us to go back and watch the next episode of The Batman. Right, so we are on season 2. We have hit episode 2 of season 2, and we finally get to meet the Batman's version of the Riddler. This episode is called Riddled. It was directed by Sam Liu, written by Christopher Yost and J.D. Murray, and it aired on May 21st of 2005. I'll just start off. One thing I liked about this is, like, it hits the ground running. The Riddler he's already out there. He's already the Riddler. And this is just the first time they're meeting him. And he has set up an intricate trap, path, puzzle game for whoever might solve his riddles. And so he has got, he's got these explosions set up, and Yin is on the case, and Batman is there, and Batman helps her solve the riddle. But because no one can see the two of them together, Batman is very good at staying hidden. So the Riddler believes that Yin is the one who solved it. And so then he sends Yin on this Gotham-wide chase from explosive to explosive, where she has to solve riddles all the way. And the whole time, Batman is right behind her, helping her out from the shadows. So their partnership continues, but they can't be seen working together. And as they're doing these, eventually the Batman starts picking up on things that the Riddler is saying and realizes that he can't help himself. He is also giving clues to what his real game is. And his real game is he is essentially stealing the information from, is it the police station? I think it is, right?
I think so.
Yeah, he's stealing essentially like the Gotham's information network from the police station, because knowledge is power, and he'll be able to use this for anything. You know, he will have bank information and security information and just whatever he might need. And so Batman and Yin find him there. They end up getting captured. The Riddler plays a little game of 20 questions to try and figure out who Batman is. And anytime he lies, Yin gets electrocuted. And there's a great moment where Yin is baiting him, and so the Riddler stands over there, and so Batman lies, and so the Riddler gets zapped, which was pretty awesome. So the Riddler gets taken into custody, and he does fail. They think that Yin is the one who succeeded. The Riddler tells the chief that Yin and Batman are working together, but he doesn't believe her. So their secret is safe for now, and the Riddler is taken away. And so Batman and Yin get to continue their partnership in secret. So, Brendan, what did you think of Riddled?
I like it. I do like the Riddler episodes in this show. I will say from the get-go, I don't like the look of the character. I mean, I like the green mask. But yeah, that's about it. They could have. I mean, even the long hair doesn't bother me that much. I just think they could have done something better. Not the worst version of the Riddler I've seen, in terms of an aesthetic. But look, I really like it. It's got shades of Die Hard with a Vengeance in it.
Yeah, you're right. It really does. Yeah.
Sending them on the wild goose chase to deactivate bombs by doing brain teasers and riddles and stuff. But that's very Riddler. And I really like it. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. I really liked it. I think that we agree eye to eye on everything. I don't love the look of the Riddler, but I don't hate it.
No,
it's kind of like some of the other ones that we had talked about, especially the Joker. It just felt like they were just trying too hard to make him too different.
I mean, yeah, if you kept the long hair and they've got rid of the purple, it's all green and stuff, but it's just, to me, the suit, the costume, it's just too over stylized, with the shoulder bits and if they just had him in a bloody green onesie or something, they just overthought it. But it is what it is. Like I said, it's not my least favorite aesthetic of the Riddler, but it's definitely not my favorite.
Yeah, it's okay, but yeah, I just think that they just tried a little too hard and pushed it a little further than they needed to. I remember most people describe it as the Marilyn Manson Riddler.
Yes, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, fair enough. Also, the weird black lines around his mouth and stuff.
That's weird.
Yeah, so it's just you didn't have to go that, you didn't have to change that much about it, but it's okay. That's where I land. You'd think I would hate it, but I don't totally hate it. It's okay. But aside from that, I really liked the episode. I didn't even make the connection with Die Hard with a Vengeance, but you're so right. But I do love that he is just, he has set up this elaborate ruse to send them on a wild goose chase all over Gotham so he can focus on what he is. But I love that he has his wild goose chase riddles, but he's still laying in clues as he talks. And I don't remember this episode, I'll be honest with you, but even when he was saying certain things, I was like, I bet you that's going to be important. Just because the way he worded certain things as he was talking to Yin, where I was like, oh, that feels like there's something in there. And sure enough, that's what happened. Because it turns out that the explosives it was like Jell-O.
Yes, they weren't even real. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought who voices the Riddler, right?
Oh yeah, which I think is so cool.
It's Robert Englund.
Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger, and I had forgotten that too. And I was like, oh my god, I know who it is, but I can't remember. And so then I watched the credits, and I was like, oh my god, that's right, Robert Englund. And I think he does great. He makes a very cool, creepy Riddler.
The voice is really, really good.
Yeah, it is. It's really good. And so, yeah, I like his voice. I like his characterization. I like what he's up to. And yeah, I really love the fact that he's one step ahead of them, but Batman still, can solve it and in the end foil his plans. So, yeah, it's a really good episode. We talked about it, and for the first season, Jamie and I had a harder time for the first 9 or 10 episodes. And then right towards the end of season 1, we were like, oh, I think it's starting to gel. And then I think in season 2, it's even gelling more. We liked the last one with the Penguin and the Catwoman, and I really liked this one too. It's a different take on the Riddler, like everything is in this show. But as I said when we started the show, that's just one of those things you just have to accept and go, they're just going to do different stuff. Everyone's going to look different, and it's just the way it is. And that aside, it's good.
Yeah, I was just going to say with the voice thing too, I always, for some reason in my mind, I always thought the voice was Brett Spiner.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know why I thought that, because it's not, but it's funny because he ended up playing the Riddler in Justice League Action. But
did he?
Yeah, he was the Riddler in that.
He was the Joker in Young Justice.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
So he's done some Batman voice work, but yeah, for some reason in my mind, I always thought it was him, but no, it's Robert Englund.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah, particularly this time of year.
I know. Here we go. I will say, if anybody also listens to Real Fans, it might be a good month to revisit the Nightmare on Elm Street series.
Okay.
I mean, you can watch what you want to watch. I'm just saying, if you also listen to that show, maybe it's a good time. And I think they're mostly unmatched.
The first one.
It's a fun journey. I'll tell you that. They're not all great, but it's fun anyway.
Which horror franchise is though?
But exactly, which horror movie franchise is always great? None. So anyway, no, I thoroughly enjoyed the episode. What? Anything else you want to bring up? And if not, give me a letter grade.
Not that I can remember. Letter grade. Look, I'm going to go solid A. I think it's good.
I think so too. I really enjoyed it. An A. I had a great time with it. So I did laugh because some of the riddles I went, oh my God, that's so easy. And I like that even Yin goes, even Yin said, oh yeah, that one's really easy.
Actually, I like how he throws out the easy ones and the commissioner has no idea.
Yes. But I do appreciate it where when he said, don't ask yourself who, ask yourself why in. Yes. Don't ask yourself who in, ask yourself why in. And it's like, why in Yin? He's saying it's me. I thought that was clever.
She just underplays it, yeah.
Yep. So, very cool. All right. Season 2, episode 2, Riddled. It was a good one. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The next one up, episode 3, is Fire and Ice, which is Mr. Freeze and Firefly.
Which is a good pairing.
It does, yeah. It definitely feels like season 2 has a lot of team-ups. And I'm not mad about it because I like a good villain team-up. But I think that's cool.
No, so, I can't remember that one off the top of my head, to be completely honest.
Well, we'll find out next time. So there you go. Next time it's Fire and Ice, but this time it was Riddled. We both gave it an A. It's a good one. I think that the show really is like in a nice stride now, and I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, and honestly, it only gets better.
Sweet. All righty, folks. Well, it's not time to say goodbye just yet because we have to check in with you, fine feathered finks, and crack open the Wayne Manor mailbox. It's time again for the Wayne Manor mailbox.
You've got mail.
Darren, what is a letter for me?
Maybe temporary.
She wrote a letter.
You're one hell of a messenger. This is all, Master Wayne.
All right. We got some emails. Shockingly, not a ton about Blue Beetle.
Well, that's
normally
we couldn't do them.
I know. Normally, like we like to do after a big movie comes out, we like to do the little Q&A afterwards, but we don't have that many. So, it's fine. So the first one is about Blue Beetle, but it's not about the movie. Anything that might be spoilery, Brendan, I won't read.
Well, that's very appreciated.
So if there's any Blue Beetle ones in here that have any spoilers, I will save them for next time. But anyway, so this was
on that episode.
Well, maybe you're just gonna have to deal. All right, so this one here is from Charlie M. It says, I'm listening to the Blue Beetle review and I had to laugh when you guys talked about the trailers before the movie. My God, there were so many trailers before the movie. And I guess because it was a more kid-friendly movie, especially for CD. I don't know what that means. Anyway.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Maybe they put a lot more holiday, family-friendly movies on top of typical movie previews. I kick myself for not taking time to go to the bathroom, especially since I stayed all the way to the final post-credit scene, so I almost had to do the pee-pee dance. Thanks, Charlie. So we talked about, like, not only were there so many trailers, which we're used to when you go to AMC. AMC has always shows just so many. It was the crazy, weird variety of types of trailers. Because it was like super, super kiddie movies like Paw Patrol.
Okay.
And then it was like super, super adult movies like The Nun 2.
Oh, wow.
And we were like, this is the weirdest collection of trailers I've ever seen. And yeah, it was bizarre. But yes, there were a ton of them. So Charlie, it seems that, yeah, you kind of had the same experience as we did. Okay, I'm sorry. This one is very Blue Beetle heavy. I'm gonna save it. It's not super spoilery, but just to be safe.
Okay, it's up to you. I mean, I'll trust you gut.
It's not super spoilery because you've seen the trailers, right?
Yeah.
All right. I think maybe it's okay. All right. Let's get this out of the way. This is from Benjamin. It says, hey, hope you guys are good. I like the review of Blue Beetle. If cinema technology ever makes its way down under, I'm looking forward to hearing Brendan's take.
Jesus.
Speaking of which, seeing the movie got me thinking about timelines, which can be dangerous. So here's a timeline I put together for our 3 Blue Beetles, and I wanted to see if you agree. Dan Garrett. So instead of the Golden Age, he is in the 60s and 70s Silver Age. So Dan Garrett's like the original Golden Age Blue Beetle. Mm-hmm. Ted Kord would be in the 80s and 90s, or maybe the mid-2000s is the latest. And then Jaime would be present day. So in the future, we see the Beetle Cave and the bug. And then there's present day. There's this present day or not too distant future of the high-tech city, even paired with 80s synth music, which leads me to think Ted Kord would have been operating as Blue Beetle in the mid-80s to the mid-2000s. You also have to consider the age of his daughter, Jenny Kord, who looks around 25. So if he's 38 when she's born in 1998, it would still work for Ted Kord to be 25 in 1985, which gives you an 80s or 90s Blue Beetle. Finally, since Ted Kord wasn't chosen by the Scarab, he has no superpowers. Therefore, it's unlikely he'd be operating much past his mid-40s in the mid-2000s. What do you guys think? Long live the BatCast, Benjamin. I'll just say, Benjamin, that sounds as good as an explanation as any, because I certainly didn't think that deep to do the math of how old everyone was when. But yeah, I think that makes sense. I think Ted Kord could have been Blue Beetle for 20 years, but he still has to be young enough that if like he ever shows up again, that he's not played by an old man. So that's the only little wrinkle there, is like, if he shows up someday, he's gonna, like, they're not gonna hire someone who's like 60. So that's the only thing. But otherwise, your timeline, it makes sense. I would say I would actually bump Ted Kord's up. I think he was probably in the 90s and into the 2010s. So that way, if he comes back, he's still not that old. That's what I would say.
I got nothing.
All right, great. That's not too spoilery. You know that there's the Beetle Cave. It's in the it's in the thing. All right, next email's from Ralph Richards. It said, it's been a while. Hope you're doing well. I have no question, but I stumbled on this edit of the Batman chase scene from The Flash, and I thought I'd share. It's pretty amazing how changing the grading and score of this changes the feel of the scene. All the best, Skip. And so it seems like someone re-edited the motorcycle chase from The Flash to make it feel more like Snyder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I have not watched it yet, but thanks for sharing, Skip, and I will watch that because I am curious. But I'll also say I really liked it in The Flash, so I'm good. The next one here is another Blue Beetle one. I'm going to save that one. That one's a little more spoilery, so I'm just going to leave it. Next one here is from Matthew Harridge. It says, I just saw The Flash, and young Barry was annoying. It's not his fault because I was probably also annoying when I was 18, and I thought that Ezra played the character really well in comparison to his older self. However, my thoughts on him completely changed in the last 30 minutes. In the end, it was very heartbreaking to watch unfold. And then I think Matthew continued. He said, "Oh, sorry, I also realized I have a question. Batmania is referenced on the show quite a bit, but with a reboot coming and the emphasis being placed on Superman, getting back into the public eye with a larger-than-life character, do you think that there could be Superman mania? What do you think?" Thank you, Matthew. It is interesting watching people catch up with The Flash now that it's streaming.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I'm a little, not by Matthew, but I'm a little annoyed by it because like there are people who are like, "I'm not seeing it. It looks terrible," and then they watch it on streaming. They're like, "See, I told you, it's terrible." And it's like, dude, you only watched it because you wanted to hate it. Like, come on. Anyway,
Also, you're still giving them streaming numbers. Like,
yeah, but so anyway, that's neither here nor there. So appreciate your thoughts on The Flash, and then an interesting question. Do you think we talk about Batmania and we said could we have Batmania again? And Jamie and I both said, yeah, I think so. But do you think we could have Superman mania, Brendan?
I don't think I've ever experienced Superman mania. Like, I remember myself being very excited for Superman Returns and seeing some merch for it and stuff, and same with Man of Steel, but it certainly wasn't all over the place that, like I've experienced with a couple of Batman movies now. So, look, I don't think so, but I'd really like to see it, if that's any consolation. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's certainly possible. Yes, I do. It's funny because we don't talk about it, and so it's a really interesting point for Matthew, but yes, I do think that could happen. Like if you had a Superman movie that just became a smash, it could happen. I think that, like you said, Superman Returns wasn't quite that. I don't think that there was quite the buzz around it that there was for those of us who were, who were waiting for it, who were super excited about it. There was some. It's not like there wasn't buzz, but it wasn't a fever pitch. But I feel like there was a lot of excitement leading up to Man of Steel. Going into Man of Steel, like there was a lot of anticipation, there was a lot of excitement, and had that movie worked for more people, I think we could have seen it then. Because it had an amazing opening. There were tons of merch. There were memes about like the return, Superman's finally back, and there was a lot of buzz. And so I do think had that movie, again, worked for more people, and not me, I love it. I still love it. So it's not me, but again, as every DC movie since Man of Steel, it was divisive. Had that movie been, like more of a crowd pleaser for more people, I think we could have seen it then. So if Superman Legacy is something that connects with a greater audience, I don't see any reason that Superman couldn't be all the rage all summer long.
Here's something I was thinking of while you were talking is, using The Dark Knight as an example, if we're talking, Superman mania, sort of, that's what my head goes to anyway, sort of like, The Dark Knight and the way that the public was with that. Do you think that it's a possibility for the first gun Superman movie? Or do you think it might have an impact, like, say, maybe a little bit more then, but again, sort of using Batman Begins as an example, where it's well liked, there is hype for it, there is buzz for it, there is merchandise for it, and it has good word of mouth, but then it's the sequel to that where people go, "Oh, that first one was really good. Christ, I can't wait for the second one. I can't wait." Like, you know what I mean? Sort of the first one would be that appetizer, and then it would be the second one where people are fully on board, and you'd see that hype.
I think that is another way it could go. I think it could happen for Superman Legacy, but you're right. If Superman Legacy still has to kind of cut through a lot of baggage, which Let's be honest, it does. But it wins enough people over that you're right. Then the hype could build for, for the sequel, and then maybe it could happen then. Yeah, absolutely.
Because, I think I just can't see it coming out of the blocks having that kind of impact. Like, because, Batman Begins had the Batman and Robin baggage that it had to cut through. Whereas, I know obviously things, the whole environment of movies was different back then. You weren't getting a superhero movie every couple of months. But that's sort of why those two movies popped into my mind as an example where, that first one cuts through the noise and the baggage, grabs an audience's attention. And then the second one, it's like, bam, now we're off to the races and people just go nuts for it.
Yeah, very possible. All right, next message is from Jeff. It says, hey guys, I hope it's not too late to give my 2 cents on The Flash. I thought the movie was a lot of fun with some of the best action sequences I've seen in a while from a comic book film. The opening Bat-Cycle chase was spectacular, but I have to say, ever since the movie started streaming on Max, I've been watching the baby shower scene nonstop. I know it's a very WTF moment, but it still manages to crack me up every time. Going off of that, the humor in the movie was a little bit of overkill for me, particularly younger Barry's annoying laugh. And I personally don't care if I ever see the roommate scene ever again. I was excited to Keaton return. I think there's a missing word in there. I was excited to see Keaton return, probably. However, I wasn't too sure of his Big Lebowski persona at first. I always imagined any version of Bruce Wayne in retirement being a very reserved older gentleman. But once he was back in the suit, I didn't care. The fight scene in the Russian base was what I'm sure we were all hoping to see, knowing Keaton's Batman was coming back. Finally, I love the nice touch of both Bruces ending their scenes with the line, maybe some other time, meaning they'll see each other again in time, which they did. Always a pleasure listening to you guys. Thanks for all that you do. Keep on keeping on. Jeff from Gainesville, Florida. Thanks, Jeff, and thanks for sharing and writing in, and appreciate your thoughts on The Flash. Glad that you mostly liked it, and obviously not everything worked for you, and that's fair enough, and I think that some of your points are valid, but overall, glad you had a good time with it. So, yeah, that's something that we did not really talk about on this show, but Joe and Eric did on The Fire Rises about the fact that both Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton both say, not this time, maybe some other time. So that is a nice touch, and I do like that a lot. So thanks for bringing it up, Jeff, because we never said it. I don't think we ever said it on air, even though we had talked about it off air. Anything to add there, Brendan?
Look, I haven't seen The Flash since I saw it the second time I saw it in the cinema, so a couple of months ago. But look, the baby shower scene is a fun sequence. I had a blast with it both times I saw it in the cinemas. And I know people piss and moan about the CGI, but it cracked me up both times. I think it's a really, really funny Flash scene, and it's okay for scenes to just be funny.
Yeah. I like it too. All right. One last email here from our old pal Jay Yaws. It says, hey guys, I've been on a kick of reading Batman prose books lately. I was curious if you've read many or any Batman novels. Right now I'm reading animated series adaptations, having finished the Mask of the Phantasm novelization last week and starting Shadows of the Past this evening, which adapts the scripts from Appointment in Crime Alley and Robin's Reckoning. When I was a kid, it was Denny O'Neill's Nightfall novel where I first read that story, well before I ever read the comic arc that inspired it. And I also read the controversial Batman, the Ultimate Evil when I was definitely way too young. It's a storytelling medium that can get overlooked when talking about comic characters, so I was wondering what your experience is with Batman books that aren't comics. Thank you as always for being my favorite podcast. Oh, Jay, that's so nice. Thank you as always for being one of our favorite listeners and friends. Thank you. And this is actually a great question to have Brendan on, because I know you did dive into Batman novels, didn't you?
Yeah, a couple of months ago.
Way more than I did.
So I'm just trying to think, the Ultimate Evil, I know you might be able to answer this question or not. Is that the one where it's like child sex trafficking or something? Or
I mean, that based on the title and what you just said, that makes sense. But I
do remember a Batman novel I read probably around the time Begins came out from the library, and it was like the Waynes were like they were sort of working against these child trafficking things, and it ended up being a big conspiracy as to why that was why they were killed, and I can vaguely remember it. I just can never remember what it's called. That's probably it. But yeah, I went back and read Batman 89, Batman Returns, and Batman Forever, the novelizations, just for a bit of fun. And yeah, I've still have on my shelf. I have the Batman Begins novelization, which I've never read because I got it. Oh God, like 2014 when I was in New York, because I never saw it over here, and I was like, I need that book. So it's the only movie novelization I haven't read, so I do need to get to that one day. But yeah, it was great fun going back and revisiting them because, you know, there are some things that are different and not so much in Batman Returns, but the main one is Batman Forever.
Yeah.
It's very different in parts, and, you know, it's really enjoyable actually. So just in general, if you ever come across the Batman Forever novelization and you've never read it, or it's been many years since you've read it, give it a shot because it is a fun read. But no, I really enjoyed going back because it's one of those things when you know the movie so well, you're kind of like, well, why would I read the novel? Like, you know. But pardon me, I did it coming up to 2 years ago. I read the novelizations of Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2. And I had a blast reading them. And it was just like, I should probably do that with the Batman novels. And I had a chance earlier this year to at least do the first 3. So, yeah, I'm with Jay. If you get a chance, revisit some of the Batman novels because they're really good. And there's some really good original ones out there too.
Do you know what novelization I need to read?
Which one's that?
Santa Claus the movie.
Oh, yeah, I have that somewhere here too.
I know. I need to. That's the one I need to read because I remember us talking about it, and they added all this mythology with the Wendigo. But this isn't about Santa Claus the movie; it's about Batman. So
have to get it in there somewhere, though.
But you know, like I know my audience.
So if you're playing Holy BatCast bingo,
awkward flirting, check. Santa Claus the movie, check. The C word, check. Anyway, I have not read a ton of Batman novels. I definitely read the novelization of Batman 89. I bet you I still have it somewhere. But yeah, I remember reading that way back in the day. And the other one that I remember reading was the Batman Murders, and that one right around the same time. In like 89, 90 during Batmania, where like anything with a bat symbol sold. And so they sold these novels. And so I remember reading the Batman Murders as well. But yeah, like I know that you reread those recently, and it sounds like a lot of fun. I should try to get my hands on them, especially as you said with Batman Forever and with all the talk about the original cut or the rough cut and how it, you know, how different it is. And I guess a lot of that is in the novel. Like it's actually in the right order in the novel. And there's all that supporting material from the novel as well. So yeah, I haven't dived very deep into Batman novels, but like Jay said, it often gets overlooked, and it shouldn't because there's some really cool stuff out there. I also know that recently it came up about No Man's Land, and we both said, oh my God, the comics of No Man's Land is so overwhelming. There's just so much to read. And so we don't even know where to start. And someone said, and I don't remember who, someone was like, well, the way I got around that, I read the novelization because that actually was a perfect way to like bring it all together and make it digestible. So I'm interested in that too.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think I was on that episode, and I definitely agreed because that's one I read back around like 2011 or so, and it's a damn good read. The No Man's Land novel, it's so good.
Cool. So yeah, thanks, Jay. And thank you to everybody who wrote in. We love hearing from you guys. We appreciate the messages, the thoughts, the questions, all that good stuff. So thank you guys. We love hearing from you. If you've got something for the Wayne Manor mailbox, please send that to Holy BatCast at rf4rm.com, and then we will address it next time. And apologies to the one Blue Beetle email that we didn't respond to. But if you're mad about it, you can blame
That's
Brendan.
my fault.
Yes, you can tweet.
And then you can blame, you know, Cinema Australia or whoever decides the release dates over here.
Yeah, whoever, I don't know. But anyway, you can tweet or X Brendan and say, how dare you? I wanted to hear my questions answered. All right.
And I say, tough shit.
And I say, screw you. Do you get that reference?
Is that a Simpsons one?
No.
What's
There
that
is
from?
some glorious geek listening right now who was like, no way. So if you got that reference, I want to hear about it. Right into the Wayne Manor mailbox.
What was the reference?
I'm not saying.
Oh, come on.
I'll tell you after, but
Okay.
I'm not surprised you didn't get it, but I know there is someone cool out there who got it.
Okay, fair enough.
Anyway, send it to holybatcast@rf4rm.com and we will answer it on the next episode. But that's where we're going to wrap this up. Brendan, good to have you back. Always good to have you.
Pleasure to be here as always.
Yes, I hope it was a pleasure being had.
Always is with you.
Well, where are you skulking about on the internet these days?
You can find me on X at Loey007. I'm never going to be comfortable saying it. Hey.
Well, here's the hilarious thing: is the website is still called Twitter.
Yes.
Like if you actually go to it on the internet, you have to type in Twitter. You can't type in X.
No, that'd take you somewhere else, I reckon.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, but yeah, Twitter X. Twitter
and on
X.
Facebook in the Real Fans groups.
Yeah.
Starting Scarathon, which seems to be this year, like, I don't know what it is, but this year everyone's been like chomping at the bit for it. It's been really crazy.
Yeah, I know. Some people started on August 1st.
Some people are crazy.
A lot of people are crazy. I think most people
really
are crazy.
Jess gets the shits because she's like, how come it's, you get 2 months of scary stuff and, we only get 1 month to watch Christmas movies. I'm like, blame Jamie Drewley. I don't make the rules of real fans. Like,
well, I mean, even though Jamie made the rules doesn't mean everyone followed them.
Well, that's true. Yeah, she'd be more pissed because it'd be 3 months of scary movies.
See? Well, it is Scarathon to your point. And here's my explanation. It's always been my explanation is if you start Halloween early, you're not stepping on the toes of anything.
No.
You're not missing anything. Nothing happens in August and September. But if you start Christmas early, at least in the States, you are stepping on Thanksgiving. And that's why I am one of those people that waits till Thanksgiving. But I know not everybody does, and that's okay. I respect it. Everyone has their own belief systems, and I try to be respectful.
Fair enough.
So tell Jess she can start whenever she wants. She can start Cheerathon now. She'll just be alone.
I should watch some of the horror Christmas movies out there, which I, to be honest, have never really seen. So I need to get on.
They're fun. Yeah, they're fun. Krampus is fun.
I saw the remake of Black Christmas, which I really didn't like. So that's the only Christmas horror movie I've seen.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks. I already told you guys where to find me. But speaking of Scarathon, go to Letterboxd and give us a follow because that's where I keep track of my Scarathon. And that's a lot of fun. Anyway, but that will do it for this episode of Holy BatCast. Thanks as always for joining us. Please do subscribe or follow the show wherever you get your podcasts. And please rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. We would love that too. Visit holybatcast.com and again, find Holy BatCast on Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram. I think that's it. Holy BatCast. If you've got something for the Wayne Manor mailbox, again, that email address is holybatcast@rf4rm.com. Our theme music was created by the talented Gaurav Venkateswar. You can find his work at gvtunes.com. And don't forget to check out our sponsors over at Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com, do some shopping, and use that promo code BATSCAPED for 20% off and free shipping. That'll do it for this episode. Thanks as always for joining us. We'll see you next time. Same Harley time, same Harley channel. Holy BatCast is not affiliated with Warner Brothers or DC Entertainment. The views and opinions shared by the participants are theirs and theirs alone and do not represent the companies or organizations they happen to work for.
Home again, jiggity jig. Yay. There's one thing I gotta know. Why'd you stay with me all day, risking your butt for someone who's never given you anything but trouble?
I know what it's like to try and rebuild a life. I had a bad day too, once.
Nice guys like you shouldn't have bad days. tell me.
Don't press your luck.
What are you looking at?
So the episode it's dedicated to Arleen Sorkin because we love her. But in extension, it's also dedicated to my daughter.
Well, I mean, why not?
Well, I tell you, we bought her an inflatable Harley Quinn mallet from Spirit Halloween.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, we bought it for her like last Halloween, when she was still really a baby. She was 6 months old, and she was terrified of it. And she didn't get scared of much, but for some reason, this one scared the heck out of her. And then once she turned 1, she loved it. And now she runs around the house with this big inflatable Harley mallet, and it's perfect. And I couldn't be more proud.
I'm so jealous of you guys in Spirit Halloween. Oh my God.
It's pretty magical. I'm not going to lie.